Okay guys, back to painting. Why is it so zoomed in? Back to the painting. Got the gray out. Like I said, we're just gonna clean up those final spots on the panels, and that should really do it for them. I should step away from them because I keep coming back to them and messing with them. So we're just gonna real quick hit that area that I accidentally rubbed the wash onto, and then we'll hit that pair of panels real quick. Okay. So there was one that needed it a little bit here. Here. And there was one here that was a little bit big on. If the video would focus for me, cool. Quick tip for doing areas that maybe are harder to get to, or your brush is a little bit big to get into. Start on an edge. Like we'll do here. Start on an edge, and then gradually move your way over, moving down on that particular area. I'm going to try it on the other side here. So starting on the end, kind of like the middle of the panel, and then kind of smoothing my way to the right to cover that patch up. And that should do it. So the smokestack looks really great, really grungy, and I spilled gray. There we go. Really grungy. Got to fill in some of those holes with black. Other than that, smokestack's done. But other than that, the model is basically done. I got to do the sword hand and these fists. But other than that, the basing, is pretty one-dimensional. The basing is really easy. Thanks for sticking with me this far. If you're still here, I know I haven't put out a series in some time, been getting less busy, so you should be seeing a little bit more content. Excuse me. Coming back once again to these panels, as I just am so anal about them. There we go. Real quick and real simple like that. Okie dokie. So what I'm going to do next is do the sword. And that's going to take all of a minute. So take the silver color, because I want the sword to be a silver color, but I don't want it to be the same as the actual blade color. Drop in there. Put the cap back on this. Doesn't dry out. That would suck. Black. Regular black. And we'll drop in that as well. I think I might have missed, yeah, I did miss the palette kind of. Moving it around. There we go. So just a real easy 1-to-1 ratio. Take a different brush that I'm not going to be using so I don't stick the end in my mouth again. And just mix the two together. Move on to the camera. Move him back in the frame. Move this so you can see here. Let's make it a dark kind of silver. I shouldn't need a whole lot of it, so. Okay. And now sword arm. Make sure I'm in the frame and just knock these, basically squares. Just knock these squares out. So it'll end up a little bit darker than the blade itself, so you can discriminate between the actual weapon part and the pommel and the hand grip part. The hand guard, excuse me. The grip as well, but that we'll get into in a second. It's going to be dry brush with this color, more than likely. Real easy stuff here. Just like that. Make sure you get all the base coated black colors, the primer colored black colors, because that's all stuff that needs to be covered. You don't want to see any black showing through. Just like that. Don't forget the underside. There we go. That's simple and that easy and that quick. Now I'm going to take quite a bit of this darker gray, get it on the brush, kind of bounce it around in my paper towel here that I have. So I got only a little bit left on there. Just like that. And just bounce around on the grip itself. Put a real thin coat of the silver, basically. And then, last but not least, of course, get the bottom half. On sword grips, it's really easy to fill in those details. There's too much paint. You're probably wondering why, you know, I went ahead and brushed off a lot of that gray. If I just went straight gray on there, it would cover up a lot of those detail holes. Because the grip is kind of perforated. It looks like a real sword grip. It's kind of got a texture to it that will help you hold on to the weapon, of course, point of the grip. But you do want to make sure not to fill that stuff in. You don't want to lose that detail. You want to be able to see that later. Just fix up this a little bit. There we go. And the sword arm is done, basically. Very nice, very quick, very easy. Kind of fix this up a little bit. It's a little bit too heavy. There we go. Cool. Kind of bouncing on the engine block just slightly. This is going to be the fun part. So, I want to weather the shield up. Taking a risk here, but it's something I want to do. What you want to do is, let's do an example here. Grab paint on your brush. Let's say this square here is the shield. Let's say this is literally the shield, okay? Let's say this is the bottom of the shield, okay? This corner here. Okay, got that. What is this? That's the bottom of the shield. What is this? Oh, this is kind of a stain. Trying not to get you confused with this stuff, whatever. Bottom of the shield. What you want to do, take a bunch of that color, lay it down wherever you want there to be weathering. Take a dry brush, a dry actual brush, and go like this, streak it, like that. You'll leave kind of a scuff mark, okay? I'm going to actually do this as if this were the actual shield. Maybe take a bit there, maybe we'll do a little bit just there. Lay it down kind of heavy. Make sure you are streaking the same way, just like that. Maybe one more time. Just here. Do a little one there. Streak the same way. That one didn't come out so well. Hit it with just a little bit more. Yeah, drop on the brush. And then streak. Okay? We're going to do that, but on this shield. So, let's do it with straight silver. That'll probably look more authentic. So I'm going to go ahead and set this down for a second. Because the shield is going to get worn. I like how the shield looks. It looks nice and pristine, but it needs to look authentic. So some straight silver, making sure this brush has been used a little bit for this purpose, but that's okay. A little bit of that color on here isn't going to affect it a whole lot. Just going to make sure it's really dry and really fluffed out. Okay, so you don't want the paint to be real wet. You want it to be kind of thick to get this effect. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to put a lot of it there and a lot of it there. Switch to my other brush real quick and just streak just like that. And go all the way around just like so. Okay? Looks really shiny, but that's what we're after. Take another little bit of it, drop it just there. Same process. Just like that. Okay. We can clean that up, of course, with gray. I'm looking at it, and it looks a little bit like I put... actually, I have a better idea. What we could do... Actually, yeah, this is a good learning process. Actually, I've done this before, but I haven't done it on a round shield like that. This is a good point to make, though. So, let me get the fucking silver back on. Okay, cool. Have a look at this. Example. Did the weathering on the shield. You can see, especially if I get this to point with on the brush, get this point with here, water it out a little bit, you can see some metal flakes on there that I want. You can see, if I can get the camera to work with me, kind of move it around a little bit. The brightness is really messing with this, and I really would like you to see this. This is a big deal. Let me mess with the angle here slightly if I put it this way. Oh, that looks okay. You can barely see it. You see here, there's this kind of circle. That's where I put the paint down and then streaked it. I don't want that effect. I don't want it to look like I put paint down and then streaked it. I want it to look like scratches. So what we need to do for this area in particular, the rest of it came out fine. The round part itself is going to need attention, but the rest of it came out okay. What we need to do is streak it before, or not even, okay, not before. You need to streak the paint without putting it down in a glob, basically. So to do that, I'm just going to try a standard dry brush. I'm going to see if maybe I can't just correct my mistake with an opposite dry brush of gray. Let's see how that works out. Going the same way, of course. I need a little bit more. Now you can still see the definition of it. So what we'll do is we'll just take the straight gray and just cover that up. Real nice, real easy. So like I said, the rest of it did come out really nice. Trial and error. So we just patch that up real quick and easy. I'll just leave it like that, actually, it's fine. So, last parts are done. I just got to fix up the shield a little bit. The smokestack, these little areas in here, these bits in between the smokestack and kind of the decoratory piece, decoration piece, fuck it. Just there. That's going to be just silver. No real work going into that. I just need a base, do that bit of silver, and it's all done. The face, pro tip, do the faces last, because you're going to be gripping on that a lot. You can see how much the paint has come off from us just me putting my hand there. Do the faces last. Other than that, we're about done here. We sure are. So next time you see this, it will be finished. Thanks a lot for staying with me, guys, and I'll see you in a little bit with this finished up.